Om Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dear devotees, in the previous week, we had started discussing the life story of the great realized ones or the Vedantic teacher of Sri Ramakrishna, that is Totapuri. As I mentioned in my previous class, we have to discuss, we have to read and study their lives. Why? Because they are the living commentaries on the Upanishads or on the scriptures. So when we read their lives, we do understand that either the God or the Supreme Self or the Brahman can be understood, experienced. One can attain moksha or mukti, that is, that will be reassured by studying their lives. Because when we study the Vedantic principles, many times we feel that, oh, is it an hypothetical argument? Or is it mere abstract concepts? Or really, is it possible? Is it really practically possible? This question can haunt our minds. This question can boggle our minds. When we read such great people's lives, when they have practiced spiritual disciplines and when we reached their final goal, then we will understand. We get assurance, yes, even today, even in this present age, one can experience the God or experience the self. And today, there are two blessed days, as you all know that. Today is the Swami Vivekananda's birthday as per Gregorian calendar, January 12th. And especially in India, it is observed as National Youth Day. And one more is the apostle of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Turiyananji's birthday also. So let us pay our respects to both the great ones and we shall try to discuss about the Totapuri's life. So Totapuri born in the western part of India, the Punjab area, we know that. And his mother didn't had any issues. Parents had prayed to the God. If we conceive and give birth to a son, then he will be left to the God service. Means he will be joined to the monastery. That was the local tradition there. And mother had prayed, and because of her prayer, as an answer to her prayer, Tota was born. And at the age of 5, as they promised, at the age of 5, he was taken and he was left in the monastery. Now, why at the age of 5, such early age? Because if you see, between around 8 years or before 8 years, even the semen starts producing in the male body, especially. So that means my character, my personality has been formed. So if a person has been left in the monastery before that, then he is grown in that atmosphere. So his personality, his attitude, his likings and his desires will be shaped upon that. As a result, he will be the true ascetic. That is the intention or that is the thinking. Sometimes it may not be also. But as we all know that in Ramakrishna Mission, we don't encourage taking monastic vows at very young age or very early age. Now, so he stayed there for quite a few years and his guru. And afterwards, he had received monastic vows and he stayed in the western part, that is in Gujarat, for 40 years. And he did intense tapasya and he experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He experienced self. We all know that. Afterwards, after Nirvikalpa Samadhi attaining, he traveled across India and he took the responsibility of two Kumbh Melas. One is in Prayagraj, the other is in, in Kankal, Haridwar. We all know that. And he was also the Mahant, that is the abbot of the monastery, where around 700 to 900 monks were living, and totally their congregation were 10,000 in those days. Now, he visited Gangotri, then afterwards he came to Ganga Sagar, where the Ganges merges into Bay of Bengal. We all know that. Afterwards, he came to Jagannath Puri in the eastern part of India, and he had the darshan of Lord Jagannath. Then, unknowingly, he was pulled towards Dakshineshwar or Calcutta. And when he came to Calcutta, when he was sitting in the portico, there is a very interesting, what do you say, narration that he was sitting and he was not aware of Sri Ramakrishna or whatever, but he was sitting in the, when he came in Dakshineshwar temple, and he sat in the big portico of the ghat. And just he had a small piece of cloth, maybe a lion cloth or whatever. Then Master was also sitting in one corner with the absent-minded, or rather, he was thinking about God, Mother, Divine Mother. As soon as Totapuri saw, when his eyes fell on Sri Ramakrishna, he was astonished to see Sri Ramakrishna. He was moved by Sri Ramakrishna's appearance. He felt that Sri Ramakrishna's face is radiating with austerity, with surge of devotion, and with purity, and with great spiritual experiences. By the time Sri Ramakrishna had done a lot of tapas, lot of sadhana, we know that. First 4 years, then afterwards he also had done several 64 different type of spiritual practices under the guidance of Bhairavi Brahmini. So unknowingly, Totapuri was attracted towards Sri Ramakrishna. Very interestingly, and Totapuri approached Sri Ramakrishna and he said, "Look, by your face, I can understand that you are pure indeed, pure in nature, and you are the fit person to study, to practice Vedanta. We may study Upanishads, we may study Vedanta, we may try to put into practice, but many of us, we are not fit enough. Because of that, how much ever we are trying to hear Vedanta and trying to practice, many times we are not able to. Why? Because we are not fit aspirants, because of the purity of mind and discrimination, dispassion, discipline, intense desire for liberation. These are the four prerequisites which are essential, which we lack in our own way. But Sri Ramakrishna was established in that. And he said, can there be a such fit aspirant for Vedantic discipline in Bengal, which is saturated with Tantric practices? So Totapuri says, you seem to be well qualified. Do you like to practice Vedanta discipline? So the master saw him, and Totapuri was a well-built personality, was a robust in his nature, and he saw he had a matted long hair with an untrimmed beard and all. Sri Ramakrishna, in his innocent way, said, I know nothing, sir, of what I should do or what I should not. Only my mother knows everything. I shall do as she commands. Totapuri thought he is a very obedient child, though it is in young person. So when he said, Sri Ramakrishna said mother, Totapuri thought it is his biological mother. Then happily, laughingly, Totapuri said to Sri Ramakrishna, okay, then go and ask your mother and come back. I will not stay here long. Because more than 3 days he never used to stay. So that is the reason Totapuri said, okay, you go and ask your mother and get the permission. Let us see. And uh, master slowly he walked to mother's temple, and he was already in ecstasy, and he went and approached mother. He said, a naked once Nangta has come. He wants to teach Vedantic disciplines. What should I do? What is your command? Interestingly, mother says, yes, my dear, you should go and get it. Because for your sake, I have summoned here, I have called here. Then Sri Ramakrishna, in his guileless nature, he in his happy mood, he goes in a semi-ecstatic, semi-conscious mood. He goes and he says that, has a like happy child, like when he gets a permission, consent from the mother, parents, how the child will be happy. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna was very happy, and he says that mother has agreed, indeed, that I should get the instructions, Vedantic instructions from you, it seems. Then Totapuri was very clear and was very happy, and he said, okay, then you have to take the monastic vows. I will be initiating you into monasticism, sannyasa diksha. Then Sri Ramakrishna agreed, yes, I don't have any problem for myself, but I've got one condition. What is that? Since I've got aged mother with me, she cannot bear now at this juncture if I take sannyas. So as a result, I will take this in a secretly. So in a closed way, it will not be public. In a closed way, I will take it. Totapuri agreed. And Totapuri, he gave a simple instructions that Shika, the tough hair should be renounced, and your Yagnopavita, sacred thread has to be renounced. He said, yes, then you have to wear akar robes. During sannyasa time, fine, but afterwards I may not be able to because of my mother. Then Totapuri laughed and said, oh, my dear, that is never mind. That never mind. Why? Because all these things are required for a common person. But whereas in your case, you are already fit aspirant. Whether you use white cloth or akar ropes or any other cloth, it doesn't make any difference. There no, no problem. Then Sri Ramakrishna agreed. Now, before taking sannyasa, actually, we have to prepare ourselves. Some fastings, some reading scriptures, and so many japas, we have to do all that. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, this was not required because he was already fit enough for that. But then Shraddha ceremony has to be done. Shraddha ceremony is when people die, we do the ceremony for the departed souls. Now, in the case of monk, because we will be no more, we will not have anyone in our case. So, while before taking sannyas, accepting monasticism, we do Shraddha, final rites for the our forefathers who are died. So many people have got a confusion and a fear also. If say parents or grandparents or some blood relatives, if they are there, even then we have to do shraddha for them because afterwards we cannot do. Is it so? No. If say person, if I am going to take a sannyasa, my parents or grandparents, if they are alive, that means I will not be giving I will not be doing shraddha for them. Only for the deceased ones we do. So for the deceased ones we do, and whoever has not been got this pin tarpana, even for them we do it, and there are beautiful ceremony anyhow. So we do it, and finally we put a garland on ourselves and we offer pinda for ourselves. Means I have died no more. I have died. I am dead no more. I am. So after Shraddha, then few other things will be there. Then Virja Homa has to be performed. At the Virja Homa, then our Shikha and Yagnopavita has to be offered. Then we take new akar ropes, with a danda kamandulu. Generally, it has been given, and that's how. And with the Mahavakya from the Veda and the Presha Mantra and the Pranava or Hamsa Gayatri. All these things are received when we take sannyas. So when we do Viraja Homa and we get a Presha Mantra and Mahavakya, then only sannyasa ceremony gets complete. Mahavakya, we know that the four Mahavakyas are from four Vedas. We all know that is available. But the Presha Mantra is not written anywhere. It is not even available in any books. It is only from lineage, from Guru to Shishya Parampara it has come. So once you take, then only our sannyasa gets complete. Otherwise, it is not. And interestingly, if someone by accidentally, if they listen to Pesha Mantra, as per the rule that you have to take sannyasa. So that's the reason whenever sannyasa ceremony is there, especially when these things has been given, then there will be closed ones. Nearby, no one will be there. Because if by chance, if someone listens, then they will be forced to they are supposed to take sannyasa. Anyhow, so all these things was done. So Sri Ramakrishna also performed Vijahoma mantra in the Panchavati, and he did his Shraddha for his forefathers, and himself he did, and his Shikha, tuft hair, and his Yagnopavita was offered at the Virjahoma, and he also received Akar robe with the Dandan Kamandalu. Then he also received, a Presha mantra, then Mahavakya, and etc. After all these things, as Sri Ramakrishna says, that few Vedantic principles or Vedantic philosophy was taught by his guru, that is Totapuri to Sri Ramakrishna. He listened to all these things. Then finally, Totapuri asked him to meditate. What meditation? Vedantic meditation or Vedantic contemplation. That is, Aham Brahmasmi or Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma or Tattvamasi. Means their Brahman and Brahman alone exists. I am Brahman in the world and everything, whatever you are seeing, experiencing, everything is none other than Brahman. Brahman and Brahman alone exists. Now, when it comes into this, actually is a bit difficult. Why? Because for many of us, we cannot comprehend even. Oh, I am supposed to meditate on the Brahman. Okay. What is the nature of Brahman? Oh, Brahman is subject, it is never the object. And it doesn't have any form. And it is eternal. And it is indestructible. And it is very ancient. It is free from birth and death. When we hear all these things, then it becomes very abstract. Our mind goes blank or blind. When we say it doesn't have any name and form, even so, then when we try to meditate, most of us even cannot understand what it is. For some of them, they may understand some concept. They start thinking that Brahman as a form of a light or as a form of some maybe sky or something. Why? Because our mind, without name and form, it cannot think. It is very difficult. That's the reason idol worship, image worship, all these things are there. And other one more great problem for all of us, of course, that is common problem for any type of meditation, that is problem of concentration. So one is Vedantic meditation. We cannot think what is Brahman actually. We cannot comprehend for most of us. Then second is, even if so, it becomes very abstract concept. Second is, and more than that, the lack of concentration. Now, Sri Ramakrishna was also asked to meditate now, Vedantic meditation. What was his problem, interestingly? He never had any of these problems. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna himself says afterwards, whatever Bhairavi Brahmani taught me, whatever Totapuri came and taught me, all these things were taught by Divine Mother for me even before their arrival. Because when I pray to Divine Mother, I am illiterate. Illiterate means I am not a Pandit, I am not a scholar. I don't know things. Please teach me the essence of the Vedas, Vedanta, Puranas, Tantras. So he had prayed to Divine Mother, and Divine Mother, one by one, she had shown to him, she had revealed it to him that what is the essence of Vedas, Upanishads, Tantras, Puranas, and etc. That's the reason Sri Ramakrishna says, Bhairavi Brahmani, before coming, whatever she taught, everything I know in the essence. So it was only revision and reaffirmation. So similarly, when Totapuri explained Vedantic philosophy, like Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha, the Brahman alone is real, the world is an appearance, and there is no essential difference between individual self and supreme self. Or Aham Brahmasmi, I am verily that Brahman. Or Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, everything is that Brahman alone. So all these things, whatever the Upanishadic dictums based on the Upanishads has been taught by Veda Totapuri to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was aware of all that. So now it is only reaffirmation, revision for Sri Ramakrishna. So that means, as from the concept point for Sri Ramakrishna, it was not difficult. He was able to comprehend, he was able to understand what the Vedantic Advaita Vedanta is saying. Okay, and it was not an abstract concept for him, and there was no problem of concentration also. So whatever the problems most of us we have got, none of these problems Sri Ramakrishna had while meditation, but he had only one problem. The problem was Mother Kali, his chosen deity. So when he started trying to meditate, he didn't had a problem of concentration. His mind didn't go anywhere, and he didn't had any problem with concept. But whenever he tried to do Vedantic meditation, immediately in front of his eyes, in front of his mind, the divine form of Mother used to come and stand. So he tried once, twice, thrice, few times, but he was unable to go beyond. He was unable to forget the Divine Mother's name. So he tried few times, and he opened his eyes, and he told to his guru Totapuri that, oh my dear, I cannot do Vedantic meditation. Totapuri was very angry. Why? Because Totapuri accepted to give sannyasa for him in no time, because he thought he's a Uttamadhikari. He's the real fit aspirant to practice Vedanta. But that's what his understanding. Now Sri Ramakrishna is saying that he cannot meditate, he cannot do Vedantic meditation. Totapuri was angry and annoyed and said, why? What is the problem? Then Sri Ramakrishna says, oh my dear, I am not able to cross over the Divine Mother's form. And then now Totapuri, contrary, was hardcore Vedantin. He never accepted Mother, the Durga or Kali or Shakti or basically. He was annoyed basically. Then he was seeing what to do. Then he was seeing here and there in the Panchavati, there was a small glass piece. I don't know how did he get it. Anyhow, he got a glass piece and he pressed in between two eyebrows, Agna Chakra. He pressed there, and he said, you try to concentrate on this, in between the eyebrows, and you try to meditate now. And Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful explanation in a very symbolical way, that I started concentrating my mind in between eyebrows, and with the help of a knowledge, just like a sword cuts things, with the help of knowledge, I was able to cut Divine Mother's form, and I attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So, in a day or in a 3 days, Sri Ramakrishna attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and for 3 days he was in that Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now, what does it mean? He cut asunder the Divine Mother's form. So, initially, when we start doing worshipping, we see different gods and goddesses. So, based on my interest, based on my necessities, I go and pray to different deities. Then, when I go bit, I mean, deeper in my spiritual practice, then I will get nishtha, and I will start doing Ekadevata Upasana. I will accept one god or one goddess as a chosen deity, and I will stick on to that deity or that god or goddesses. And that same god and goddesses is appearing in different forms, in different deities forms. That's what I start thinking. So that deity will become my whole and soul of my life, or alpha and omega of my life, which is called Ishta Devata or Eka Devata Upasana. That is not what is a fanaticism. That should be very clear. That is not fanaticism, it is a nishtha, but at the same time, I will not hate anyone, hate any other gods and goddesses. But because I've taken him or her, god or goddesses, as my Ishta Devata, I will stick on to that. And that god or goddesses is appearing in different forms. That's what we take. That is the second step. And afterwards, so from Aneka Devata Upasana, we go to Eka Devata Upasana. Then afterwards, I experience the deity in me. And afterwards, I try to experience the deity in everywhere, in everything. Now, finally, further you go from Ekadevata Upasana, we go to Arupa Sadhana. Arupa means no Rupa. Right? The Parabrahman is what? Nirakara, Nirguna Parabrahma. Is devoid of any form, devoid of any attributes. So that when you go beyond the mind, then only I'll be able to think about this consciousness devoid of the name and form. So in Sri Ramakrishna's case also, now he took the knowledge of Advaita Vedanta, that just like water in the sea, water is there. It doesn't have any really color or any taste. The real water, I mean to say. In the ocean, it has got salty because of salts. But real water, it doesn't have any form. It doesn't have any color or a taste or whatever. But the same water, when it gets condensed, then it forms an ice blocks, then it has got a form. But again, when the temperature rises, the ice melts and it goes back into form of like water, and again no more form, no more color or whatever. So similarly, that Nirakar Nirguna Parabrahma Sachidananda is like a ocean. In between, there are like ice blocks. So similarly, because of the devotee's interest and the devotee's prayer, that Sachidananda or Parabrahma takes a form actually. There is no essential difference between two of them. So with this base of knowledge, he was able to go beyond the name and form. He was able to go beyond the Divine Mother's name and form, and his merge got merged. Means his mind got dissolved or merged in that Brahman, and only the experiencer alone stays. That for 3 days he was there. And when Totapuri observed, he was very astonished. Initially, he thought maybe, and he closed the door and he came out and he was waiting so that no one will come and disturb. And 1 day over, 2 days over, 3 days over, there is no, a sign where Sri Ramakrishna's mind is coming down. He was astonished and he said, what is a divine mystery it is? Because this attainment, to attain this itself for Totapuri, it took 40 years of intense sadhana. And in Sri Ramakrishna's case, it was just mere 3 days. Then after 3 days, Totapuri was disturbed. Then he started telling Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. For some time, he started chanting that. Then slowly, Sri Ramakrishna's mind came down. Then Totapuri was he expressed his happy and astonishment to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, he said, I was in a bliss and I was completely merged in that, and I was not aware of any things, and I was not aware of day and night, etc. He said, and Totapuri was very happy. So that's how Sri Ramakrishna's sannyasa ceremony and the experience of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi happened. Then this Totapuri, though he didn't leave anywhere more than 3 days, but here somehow he was attracted by Sri Ramakrishna's personality. As a result, he stayed for a long time. Then both of them, they used to discuss every day different, scriptures or a knowledge and etc. Both of them had a good time. And one day, very interesting, this Totapuri's life. When Totapuri was sitting at the evening and he was meditating. Imagine, it is a Dakshineshwar, outskirts of Calcutta city. Dakshineshwar, and it's a Panchavati. It's a thick forest in those days, and no one is there. And night is alone, and outside in the outside field, and he has put a duni lit fire and is meditating. At some point of time, he opened and he saw the ghost, or he saw the spirit, or he saw a person. Immediately, when we hear itself, our body goes cool or cold. But he was not, what do you say? He was never bothered. He was not fearful because he had achieved that abhi, fearlessness. And he said, "Oh, who are you, my dear?" So instead of getting fearful, or instead of getting BP increase, or increase getting running away and all, so Totapuri with a calm, composed mind, he said, "Oh my dear, who are you?" Then that spirit said, "I am the Bhairava. I am the Bhairava who is here to protect Dakshineshwar or whatever. I am the Bhairava." And Totap said, "Oh, is it so? Okay, you are Bhairava, that's fine, that's fine. Please come and sit along with me. I am Brahman, you are Brahman. Let us sit and meditate." And Bhairava listened it and he laughed and he said, and he left it. Now you see, interestingly, Totapuri is saying that, okay, we're Bhairava, that and all, okay, that's fine. So just he took it for some other spirit or some other person. I am Brahman, you are Brahman, come on, come and sit and we shall meditate. So this fearlessness, how Totapuri was able to achieve. Because see, fearlessness can be actually, thought over in different angles actually. One is physical fearlessness. In the soldiers we see, they don't care when the soldiers are coming, when they see things, they don't care actually. They are not fearful. So that it is called physical fearlessness at the physical level or the gross level. And sometimes we get challenges. When we get challenges, when we get problems, many of us, we take a whack, we get disturbed, we take a U-turn. But there are few people, all the successful people, how much ever they face challenges or problems, they don't get perturbed, or they face it and they rise above. That's called mental challenges. Most of us, we have got in our lives. Then emotional challenges. Our dear ones will pass away. Our I am not well. Suddenly I've been diagnosed as a cancer, or my kith and kin, or my siblings, or my our own people have been diagnosed as cancer or some other diseases, etc. Then there's an emotional challenge, and there's an intellectual challenge also. Understanding oneself, understanding philosophies, etc., etc. Then there's a spiritual challenge, that is understanding oneself, understanding the nature of ignorance, and all these things. Now, this Totapuri had a physical fearlessness also, and also mental fearlessness and spiritual fearlessness, which has come from because of the experience of oneself, which is called abhi, abhi, abhi. So Vivekananda used to say, this is the essence of the Upanishads. The Upanishads is teaching that be fearless. Why? Because my inherent nature is what Atman, Brahman, which is indestructible in nature. Then why should I fear? So even this Totapuri was also, he had attained that fearlessness, Abhi, and he also asked the Bhairava to come and meditate. Now, what was his state of mind, Totapuri's? He had experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, no doubt, and he was always blissful in nature. He was never perturbed by anything. He, there he would have been faced problems and challenges, never mind, but he tried to solve it, or he would have accepted it, and he was always blissful. And added to that, he was well-built personality. He used to do a lot of hard work, and in the earlier days and all, he was well-built personality. He's physically he was very good, and he didn't had any, even probably when he came to Sri Ramakrishna, he was 60 plus. But still, he was well-built personality. His digestion and other things were good. He didn't have any disease, and he had a sound sleep. Whenever he sleeps, and he used to sleep always for 40 years, he was never slept under any roof, it seems. In the fields, he used to sleep. Or even you go to any even a cold area and all, used to feel always sleep on the open area only, and with a thin wrap of cloth. That's all. And he had a very austere life, and mostly he used to be naked, or just used to have a lion cloth opium. Otherwise, no. And if anywhere food is available, okay. Otherwise, for few days, several days, he used to fast without food. And but his physical strength or his mental strength is to not come down. It seems that's what we understand. And he had experienced in Vikalpa Samadhi. He had reached his goal or target, but the thing is that he never stopped his spiritual disciplines. Morning and evening, he used to sit for meditation regularly, and used to, as part of their tradition, Naga Sampradaya, he used to worship the Dhuni fire and used to offer the food, whatever he gets from Bhiksha, he used to offer and take it as a prasad. And most of the daytime, or most of the time, he used to sit and used to spend his time in contemplation, meditation. Interestingly, his meditation is always used to hide and do, it seems. Means it was not for show, or it was never used to show anything. He used to, from the common people, he used to hide himself and used to sit for meditation. And many times he used to sleep covering his cloth from the head to the toe. So when people see, they think that he's sleeping. This Babaji is sleeping always, but he used to sleep and he used to meditate. It seems. The same thing we can see in Adbhutanji's case also. Adbhutanji night, he used to sleep under the curtain, but actually he used to sleep, he used to cover with a blanket his face and his whole body, and he used to meditate and he used to do japa. His brother disciples have seen and they know that. And Sri Ramakrishna himself says about his guru Totapuri. Totapuri used to sit very erect, very straight, and like a log of wood, or just like if a rock has been, put straight, how it will be a pillar like, used to sit very erect and no shaky, physical shaking, no. And mentally also, no, there is no shaky because he has already experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi and all. His mind was very firm, his body was firm, his mind was firm, like a motionless lamp, motionless flame of a lamp in the undisturbed area. And this Naga Sadhu, I said, what do you mean by Naga actually? So there are few definitions or few explanations of this Naga. Naga comes from naked actually. Because these people were, most of the time they were naked, and they used to smear the ashes as a thought that it is a blessings from Shiva. They used to smear themselves with the ashes. That's all. And most of them, they used to be naked. Naga means naked. The other one more meaning is Nanga. In the Sanskrit, Nanga means mountain, Pahadi. Hindi it is. So these people, or these monks, or the mendicants, used to live in the forest, and especially in the mountain areas, hillocks or mountains. That's why they are also called Naga Sadhus. And these Naga Sadhus, actually, they are militant sadhus. So though it's the 4th century, 5th century, we all traditionally has been believed, but at least from 18th century, 17th, 18th century, we have got a records from there. This Naga Sadhus and the Sakadas has been found. Why? To protect the Sanatana Dharma, to protect the worship places, to protect the people, and to protect the monks. The militant monk group was formed. Because when there was a Mughals and Muslim in Islam invasions, and a lot of our temples and our women and monks, they were all tortured. Then, as a reaction, monks, they formed a group and they said, we will build our personality, we will do some weapon training also, and if any problem comes to our dharma, to our culture, to our people, we will protect it. That's how this militant sadhus group came into picture. That's what they say. And interestingly, Sri Ramakrishna tells in his reminiscences, which is a very often famous story, Hari the lion story. I think the lioness once, the lion, or the lioness, lion, it went to catch the food, and while catching, when it jumped and it fell off, and there was a small rock, and it touched, and it gave a birth, and lion died. And the cub was in between the flock of sheep, and the cub also started thinking that I am a sheep, and it also started eating grass. After a few years, when a lion came to attack for its food for the flock of a sheep, and he saw, for its astonishment, there is a lion in between the sheep, and it is also eating the grass, and it is behaving like a sheep. The lion took aback, and somehow it went and it managed to catch this lion. Just like any sheep makes a sound, fearful nature, even the lion was fearful. Then the other lion, forest lion, said, "You are not a lion. You are a lion, not a sheep." But the lion was not ready to accept. It was saying that, "No, I am sheep. I am sheep. I am sheep." Then lion forcefully brought the sheep lion and he said, "Look yourself in your reflection in the water, and look my reflection also." When it looked, the sheep lion said to the forest lion that, "Yes, we both look alike." Then the forest lion said, "Yes, I am lion and you are also lion. Why are you fearful?" Then slowly that sheep lion, the sheepness went away, or it dropped, and it started roaring, and it also started eating flesh and other things. This story is Swamiji also has told in America, and it has become very famous. Hari the lion. This story for Swami Vivekananda, it was told by Sri Ramakrishna. For Sri Ramakrishna, it was told by Totapuri, it seems. And one more thing, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that what is the essence of Gita? If you utter the word, if you chant the word Gita for 10 times, Gita, 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 then it becomes, it listens. We will be able to listen that it as a, instead of Gita, we'll be able to listen as Tyagi. Tyagi means one who has renounced. That means the essence of Bhagavad Gita is what? The renunciation. Renunciation means not one has to become monk. Renunciation of selfishness, renunciation of low-mindedness, renunciation of instincts, all these things. So that is the essence of Gita. Again, this was also received by Totapuri, it seems. And Sri Ramakrishna takes, he also remembers one thing interestingly, that my Guru Nangta used to tell that every day, without fail, we should do spiritual practice. Why? Totapuri had a brass copper vessel. He said, see, morning and evening, every day I wash with a tamarind. As a result, it looks so nice. It looks so clear and so nice, and it is so clean. If I don't wash, then what happens? Then a layer of oxidized layer will form. Then the copper or brass or copper vessel will look very, it loses its color and it looks very dirty. So similarly, our mind should be rubbed every day with the meditation and spiritual practices. So one has to be very sincere in our spiritual practices. So all these things, whatever we see, and few things Sri Ramakrishna has to tell, this was received by Totapuri. And interestingly, is a hardcore Advaita Vedanta in Totapuri, no doubt. And Totapuri had experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, but Totapuri never accepted the Divine Mother. When Sri Ramakrishna one fine day both were discussing at the evening, Sri Ramakrishna, because of evening, he remembered mother after Nirvikalpa Samadhi, after sannyasa and all. Then he started remembering mother and he started clapping. In the western part of India, especially in the Rajasthan and in the western part of India, they make chapatis in just in the hand itself. So Totapuri, he started making a fun. He started mocking Sri Ramakrishna. Are you making chapati? Are you making pancakes? Sri Ramakrishna took aback. Sri Ramakrishna was really hurt by this. He said, no, I'm remembering mother. And Totapuri says, what? You are now a monk, you are a nana, you belong to Advaita Sampradaya, Puri Sampradaya, Paramahamsa Sampradaya, you are a Paramahamsa monk also. And you are thinking of mother and all, what nonsense this is. But Sri Ramakrishna took aback and he said, no, mother is not, it is not a superstition, it is a faith, it is not a even faith, it is an experience, it is a fact of experience. Anyhow, they had a discussions, but Sri Ramakrishna was also firm about this, and Totapuri was also firm that it is a nonsense. Now you see, interestingly, Shankaracharya, the greatest Advaita Vedantin, who gave a structure or a philosophical structure to Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, he was a great devotee. If you see the complete works of Adi Shankaracharya, the knowledge portion, whatever he has written, compared to that, there are 2 or 3 times more the devotional scriptures, the devotional hymns and other things, whatever is composed by Adi Shankara. So the Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Vallabhacharya, Nimbarka, all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these great acharyas, prophets, they have accepted and adored Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna himself did. Rama himself did before the killing of Ravana. That's the reason we do Sharan Navaratri. Otherwise, Chaitra Navaratri was famous. Same thing we can see in the Krishna also. In before Kurukshetra war, he asked Arjuna to worship Mother, Divine Mother, and Krishna himself appeared as a Divine Mother Kali, and he said, "You worship it, then you will be winning in the battlefield." Even all the Avatara Purushas, incarnations, accepted and adored the Divine Mother. So without Divine Mother's grace, nothing is possible to achieve. In Totapuri's case, it was a jackpot actually. Because from his young age, at the age of 5, he joined the monastery and he didn't have any obstacles, he didn't have any challenges, but he was failed to understand that because of the Divine Mother's grace, all these things were. But when he didn't understand, so Divine Mother wanted to teach a lesson to understand her presence. That's the reason he was mocking at it, but Sri Ramakrishna kept quiet. And after a few days, Totapuri's thought again, Sri Ramakrishna has attended Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all these things. My role is done here. I should go. I was there for a long time. And every day, morning after morning, probably, he used to go to Sri Ramakrishna. He used to decide, okay, today or tomorrow I'll be going. He decides and he wants to go and inform Sri Ramakrishna. And when he goes and sees Sri Ramakrishna himself, he used to go so much attracted, he used to sit and they used to talk some Vedantic talk or philosophical discussions. And many times he used to forget Totapuri that I should inform him that I will leave. After some days, he started remembering that no, I will tell Sri Ramakrishna or whatever. Somehow his mind was feeling that no, I should not go. Because I mean, some force was me. Some force was holding him not to go, not to go, not to go. So, and he was a well-built personality and all these things, but because of the contaminated water which was available in Bengal those days, and because of the Bengal's weather and other things, it started saying upon his health, and he started becoming weak physically. Totapuri was able to understand that he wanted to leave, but some force was unknowingly it was holding on. And it so much so happened, he started developing a dysentery, blood dysentery. He had so much blood dysentery the whole day. His body became very weak. Then he was unable to sit and meditate. He thought, okay, I will at least try to concentrate my mind. I will lift my mind from this body and fix in the Brahman so that this body let it suffer, but I will be happy. How much ever he tried, while sitting and while sleeping, I mean, while lying down, he was unable to fix his mind on the Brahman. And his whole body, in first time in his life, his whole body became what you say heavy on himself. He thought, I've reached my goal, that is experiencing myself, oneself. Then what is the use of this body? It is becoming a bane, it is becoming a heavy on me. It is becoming a problematic. So that let me give away this body. Because Shastra allows for a Brahmagnani, he can give away the body at any time. He thought, he decided at one night and he went into the Ganges. Because Calcutta, Dakshineshwar is on the bank of Ganges. He walked into the Ganges and he said, I will leave the body. And he started walking in the Ganges. He walked because that's a huge, I mean, Ganges water, maybe half kilometer both sides, from one bank to another bank, which is in between, which is quite deep indeed. And he walked and he reached the other shore, but the water was only either till the knee, I mean, to the knees, or only low back. That's all. Then he started thinking, what? So much water has been reduced in this Ganges? He was astonished, he was unable to believe himself. Then he was thinking, then just slowly he turned other way. Then he had a vision of Divine Mother, her cosmic form. He was astonished to see, and he obviously automatically his mind, his head got bowed down to Mother, Divine Mother. He understood then who is this Divine Mother, Shakti. He paid his respects to her. He accepted her then with a sense of fulfillment, with a sense of contentment, with a divine bliss again once more. He walked back in the same Ganges. Again, the water was less. Then he was sitting. Then early morning, Sri Ramakrishna came to see his teacher, Totapuri, and he sees he was able to sit and meditate, and he was engrossed in happiness. Sri Ramakrishna was able to understand, he was able to see that, witness. Sri Ramakrishna asked, how are you? Then Totapuri said, I am well, and I've understood what is your mother. Can you sing some song? Till yesterday, he was mocking at this. Now Totapuri is asking Sri Ramakrishna, can you sing some song? Sri Ramakrishna started singing, and tears started rolling down on the cheeks of Totapuri. Then he started accepting her, and he started respecting her, revering her. And for a few days, he used to ask Sri Ramakrishna, both of them used to sit in the near the sanctum or in the Nat Mandir, and Sri Ramakrishna used to sing, and he used to listen, and tears used to roll down on the cheeks of Totapuri. And one fine day, he took the leave of Sri Ramakrishna. Interestingly, his disciples, Totapuri's disciples in the monastery that is in the Haryana, where it was there, Rajpuri Mutt, there they say, afterwards, I think 1865, Totapuri left Calcutta, and he slowly he visited few places probably, and he went to his place Ladana, where he joined there, and he was there, and he was also pontiff. And 1871 to 1884, again he was a pontiff. Till his passing away, he was pontiff. There, once he left Sri Ramakrishna and he goes to the monastery, interestingly, during Navaratri or Durga Puja, he started chanting Chandi, it seems. The hardcore Advaita Vedantin started chanting Chandi during Navaratri or Durga Puja. 1871 to 1884. He was pontiff in 16th November 1884. At the age of 104 years, he was old. Then he left his mortal coil. He left his body. So this is the what do you say, the life story of Totapuri, who had a special role in his life, who came and initiated Sri Ramakrishna into monastic vows, and he also taught him Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Interestingly, I think in Konnagar, one Pandit Dinabandhu, I think he asked Sri Ramakrishna, "Should I pay you respect? Should I pay respect?" Means, are you Brahmin? Are you a sannyasi? Why should I pay you respect? And when he demanded her answer, Sri Ramakrishna waited for some time. When Sri Ramakrishna says, "Yes, I am a monk, you can pay respects to me." That is interesting. And one more interesting conversation which reminds me, Sri Ramakrishna tells elsewhere that when Haladari, he was discussing with Totapuri about Adhyatma Ramayana. Both were discussing about Adhyatma Ramayana, which is a philosophical exposition written by Vasishtha, who was the guru of Ramachandra. It is a beautiful philosophical work. Both of them, they were discussing, and Sri Ramakrishna was sitting and just listening, it seems. After some time, Sri Ramakrishna had a wonderful experience. And the Panchavati here, everywhere the green trees, and there's a beautiful breeze, and in between Rama and Lakshmana, they are walking. So that wonderful experiences he had with the conversations or with the company of the Totapuri. And similarly, you can say that the understanding of or the experience or the knowledge of Totapuri also got completed by Sri Ramakrishna's case. So Sri Ramakrishna gave his as Guru Dakshina, because when we get something from Gurus, we are supposed to give something back as a Dakshina, as a tribute, as our respects being respect. So Sri Ramakrishna also gave his Guru Dakshina by making his Guru Totapuri to understand and experience and the efficacy of Divine Mother, where his knowledge and his experience got complete. So that's why meeting the two minds. I mean, Ashcharyavakta Kushalosya Labda, Ashcharyognata Kushalanusishtaha. Indeed, whoever can speak and experience is the great, and whoever who can comprehend that, they are also indeed greater ones. Why? Because that great Guru and great Shishya, real Guru and real Shishya, are rare indeed, and both of the Sri Ramakrishna and Totapuri belong to such category. May Sri Ramakrishna and Totapuri bless us, so that we shall also experience that supreme self, so that we will reach our goal and we will experience our inherent nature. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.